Oh, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Duck here, and today I'm going to be telling you about the time that I role-played on Garry's Mod. So, when I first bought Garry's Mod off of the Steam store, I thought that it was a place where you played games like Trouble in Terrorist Town or Death Run, because that's all I'd ever seen of the game up until that point. I didn't really think it was a super intensive role-playing game. The only role-playing games I'd ever played up until that point were Habbo Hotel and Town of Salem, technically. Technically, Town of Salem. Sort of. But when I got on Garry's Mod and I loaded up the server list, one of the first servers that caught my eye were, well, two of them, a Harry Potter roleplay server and a Star Wars roleplay server. So the one I'll be talking about today is the Star Wars roleplay server. I'm a massive fan of Star Wars, and honestly, Crew's calling somebody a shitter, and it's the wrong chat. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and I immediately wanted to join the server because I knew what RP meant, obviously. I was like, oh, RP roleplay. Okay, well, this guy's chasing me now. Gotta get him off of me. Yeah, but I saw a roleplay and I joined, and then I could not believe how like detailed it was. I spawned in a hangar bay in a Republic cruiser. I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. It was a Clone Wars roleplay, and you spawn on this ship, and behind you, immediately behind you, there's this giant like bar chart. Basically, I wouldn't say a bar chart, but it's like a giant like wall of images of like the chain of command and like who you have to listen to if you're this rank or that rank, or it's like it listed all the protocols for the ship and like codes, like code black, code red, code yellow, code neon green, or whatever, like anything you could possibly imagine. And it listed all the available ranks on the server you could buy, and dude, you could be like any character in Star Wars you could possibly imagine. I read that chart and there were characters I didn't even recognize, and I was a massive Star Wars fan at that point. And if you turn around, or if you look like straight in front of you, you see that there is a wall of rules, and you see that it's a training regiment. So basically, I go into the training regiment and I start like trying to become a clone trooper, and this shit is so real. Basically, you wait in the hangar bay until a clone captain or commander or officer sees to it that you are trained properly, and you can become a soldier from there, like I guess a petty clone or a petty officer or whatever. Like the lowest rank imaginable, like a private, I guess. And I go through the training regiment, and dude, it is so hard. Like you have to like address people as yes ma'am, yes sir, like these people that you've never met before in your life. It's crazy. And people were like actually yelling out orders, like barking orders, like get to the end of the ship, soldier, whatever. Like, you know, it was crazy. It was the most intensive roleplay I've ever seen in my life. Still, like to this point, I've joined several roleplay servers on Garry's Mod since then, even multiple Star Wars ones, and no other compares to this one. I forgot the name of it, but let's continue with the story. So basically, sorry if I'm like running around aimlessly. I'm just like waiting for somebody to die so I can use Assassin. But anyway, basically, I kept playing the server, and I got past the training regiment, which, by the way, took me 2 hours to complete. There were so many like different formations that the squads had to get into to properly like I guess to be proper to the officer that was commanding you. And dude, I was like, the anxiety that I felt the whole time. I was like, please don't call on me. Please don't say I'm doing something wrong. Please. And fortunately, that never happened, and I actually passed the training regiment, and I became a private clone trooper. So from there, I started walking around the ship, and the ship was massive. Like, I know that Garry's Mod maps can pretty much be like endless. I'm like almost positive they can be like however big you want them to be. But I didn't imagine they would actually build it like to scale with a real Clone Wars ship. Like, this ship felt like it was straight out of the cartoon, and that was honestly crazy to me. I'm just gonna like knock this guy off right here. Oh, yeah, that's a little awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, yeah, see ya. And now what we're gonna do is assassin immediately. Ooh, we got Zyromaster. That's great, because that guy plays like a very annoying human being. But anyway, I started running around the ship, like, desperately looking for a place to fit in or to belong, because I knew how the Clone Wars worked, and I knew there were, like, probably squadrons that you could sign up for. So I started searching the ship, and I get lost a couple times. I get told off a couple times, because, like, I'm just running around the ship aimlessly. They're like, soldier, where are you supposed to be at? And I'm like, I don't know, sir. I have no idea. I don't know. And they're like, all right, let's get back to the hangar bay. There's this dude in, like, super official-looking armor that found me, like, peeping in on a meeting. And he was like, you're not supposed to be here. There was like this huge meeting with like Jedi And like I saw like Ahsoka, or no, I saw Ayla Sakura, Plo Koon. I saw like a Kit Fisto model. I saw the Chancellor and a bunch of officers. And I was like sitting at the back of the meeting, and somebody was being promoted to like the head general of the entire fucking army or something. And I was like, okay, cool. Honestly, it was the craziest server I've ever been in. But so he finds me walking out of that room, and he's like, "You're not supposed to be here. Get back to the hangar bay." And I'm like, all right, get back to the hangar bay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. You know? And oh, I gotta focus real quick. I kind of want to win this game. Okay, I did know. I absolutely put no effort in that game, and I won. By the way, I'm fresh and new. If you see me in game today, make sure to say hi. Even though not many people watch these videos, so I highly doubt that you guys are gonna know my nick, because storytime videos are for my real fans, the real homies. So basically, I start walking around the hangar bay again, but this time I'm a little bit more cautious, and I'm starting to learn where to go, because if you go too deep into the ship, you'll find like all the official looking rooms. So I find a bunch of rooms that are lined up, and they have like these colored numbers above the door, so like the 212th Battalion, 501st, 302nd, 151st, or something like that, and I realize these are squadrons. So I look at them and I'm like, well, which one would be the easiest to join? I know the 501st is like the most elite squadron, and me joining that is like a fucking fever dream for me, basically. Like, it's never going to happen. So I go for a squad that I've never heard of before. I think it was the only squad with an actual name. I think it was called the Hound Squad or some shit like that. So I thought that sounded really cool. So I walk in the room and I just wait there. And there are like these rules on the wall that are like pasted there, just like neon letters, like wait until an officer sees to you. And I'm like, okay. So I thought that I was the only one signing up because I was the only one in the room. And a guy comes in, two super official looking players. And they're like, well, hello. How are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing amazing, sir. I'm here to sign up for the squad, sir. I'm like stuttering and shit. I'm like, I don't even know how to role play. I'm so nervous. Dude, like, I was so nervous because every person I spoke to sounded like a grown-ass man. I mean, like, for real, they sounded like they were in their 30s. There's nothing wrong with that, but still really intimidating to, like, speak to an adult and they're, like, barking at you, like, "Brr!" Like, just, like, a bunch of, like, orders and shit. So, I follow them into a hangar, like an actual hangar where ships like exit and stuff like that. Or I guess yeah, I guess it's a hangar bay. I guess the original hangar was just a hangar, but this was actually a hangar bay. So I follow them to the hangar bay, and I see that there are way more applicants than I thought there'd be. There's like 12 of us. And I'm like, holy shit. I mean, how are actually not even 12. There were like actually 20 of us there or something. And I'm like, do I have to compete with all of these people, or are we all going to get in? And I realized soon, very soon, that I was wrong. By the way, I was like browsing the ship or like walking around for about another 2 hours roughly. And then I found this room, and this training thing took like an hour and a half of just grueling, like tactical memorization. Like it felt like a test. It felt like an actual test. Oh shit. Oh wow, I timed that perfectly. Whoa, I like rotted her into her own lag. That was crazy. So when I mean like tactical stuff, I mean like they had us crawling on the floor and like walking the like border of the hangar bay, which was a giant square. So we had to crawl very, very slowly for like 5 painful minutes at a time. And if we did it wrong, we had to redo it. We had to memorize formations. We had to type in the chat like the formations of like where to move, or like attention, like at ease, all that stuff. Like I guess where to turn when you're like saluted or whatever. It's like, it's a bunch of stuff. It's like actual stuff in the military. And I knew that at that point. I'm just a little rusty and I don't know exactly what it was called. And slowly over time, they start like yelling at people like, what are you doing? Get out of this room. If you can't respect me and respect the rules, then leave. And I was like, holy shit. Oh my God. Like, I'd heard people yelling up until that point, but I hadn't heard anybody aggressively yelling. Like, you know how in the military they just like yell? It's not like particularly aggressive. They're just yelling all the time to get it through to people like, hey, this is what I want. This is how it's going to go down. Oh, this guy's hacking really hard. You're just a night one. GG's. So they were like actually screaming at these people like, you're fucking up. You're a fuck up. Get the fuck out of this room and now. And I'm like, okay, all right. I don't want to get yelled at by a stranger tonight that's way older than me. So I'm going to do my best not to have that happen. So luckily I only got asked a couple of questions during the formations where I guess you're like standing at attention, and I guess I forgot what it's called. I guess like you're turning onto your foot. You're turning on your foot to the right, the left, back, forward, or something like that. And that's what it was. You basically had to like they would put commands in the chat, like certain military words, like I guess military vocab in the chat, and you were supposed to turn according to the words, right? That was the one where I almost got yelled at. I was so close to getting yelled at because I just couldn't understand it. I'm like, what does this word mean? What does this word mean? Why aren't you just saying left, right, back, forward? Just what? And it was crazy. Like they kept asking us questions. You had to use voice chat. They would go down the line. Slowly over time, more and more people got eliminated. And it was 3 of us left. Just 3. Only 3, and we stayed just us 3 for like another 20 minutes. We were doing tests together. None of us got yelled at. It was very clear that we were the 3 that were paying the most attention the entire time, right? So it came down to one last test. The number 1 rule on the server is don't shoot a brother. That's like the huge rule in the Clone Wars. Like, you know, you're brothers. You're an army of brothers. You're not supposed to shoot each other or do anything that would hurt another clone, and you're supposed to be homies, basically. You're homies in war, right? You're homies of war or whatever, right? So he was like, he commanded one of the officers to run down the middle, and he was like, I want you to shoot at that player. I want you to shoot them dead, right? And of course, me and the dude on the far left immediately shoot down the middle and fucking kill the guy. We just rail him. And we didn't get yelled at for it. I think they respected us for getting that far, I'm not going to lie. But we did get eliminated. And it really sucked because I really genuinely felt like I guess my little like roleplay ego was hurt because like I totally fucked up, and it was the one rule that I should have remembered the whole time. It's like they trick you though. It's like they give you all these things to remember, and then you try to remember the one thing, and it's like, and then you fuck it up. And I fucked it up. And out of all of that, out of about like 15 to 20 people, only one guy actually ended up getting into the squad. Yeah, and that entire ordeal was like a long-ass time, and I just spent the rest of the day, like, or not the rest of the day, the rest of my time on the server just like wandering around the ship and stuff like that. It was a really fun, like, experience for me, though, because it was honestly so nerdy, and it felt, like, rewarding to get so far, and it felt genuinely crushing to get, like, canceled like that. Like, you're just like, yeah, you can't be in the squad, man, sorry. All because you just held left click for a few seconds. So after all of that, after all you just did, you held left click for a few seconds, and now you can't get in the squad because of it. That sucked so much. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time for today. That was pretty much just a little thing I wanted to tell you guys, because I was sitting on my ass and I was like, what the hell do I record today? I have absolutely nothing to record. I have no ideas. It's one of those rare days where I have nothing, because I want to unlock my Prez 2 tomorrow, and I had nothing for like today, and I was like, damn, what do I like record though? But yeah, that was the story time. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm only gonna upload these story times like once a month, so don't think they're gonna be too common. But yeah, duck duck dog signing out.